Welcome back. This is a little breakout session. Pretty intense last episode. I enjoy that. Takes a lot out of me. But we're just going to do a small little maybe 10-15 minute breakout session. Leo's with me. He'll be here in a minute. He's walking in. But he was with me filming the show, filming the transrational structure behavior theory. Just want to get some feedback from him, just talk about it a little bit and have a little breakout session. If you got any questions about it, you can post on the board there, and I'll actually email you back too if you have any questions about some things. Reviewed it myself. I left a few things out and all, but missed a couple points, but that happens when you're passionate about something. But it was good, I said Leo's here, so we'll get to chatting.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, good, man. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, man. So, what's the takeaway, man? I know you were sitting in there with me.
I mean, seriously, I like it. Yeah, I mean, how you put things together is you see how it coincides with, like you were saying, where you came from, and sort of incorporates all the different components, mind, body, spirit. Your Native American heritage sort of mixes in with that.
Yeah, man.
From the primal part to get back to nature to rekindle that spirit.
Yeah, my cousin Jesse, good guy, man, successful guy I know, but real deep spiritual guy too. He watched the show, and anyway, he emailed me or he texted me right away that he's missing some primal time, and he gets it. Like you, he's a big sailboat fan. He just comes to mind that he responded that way. But it does, man. It speaks to it. I mean, when I watched it myself again, just to be able to critique myself, but I left a few things out. But I think I'm gonna steal your idea that you suggested that my next show and the show after is taking pieces of the theory and really putting it under a magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Like step 1, 2, 3, little portions of it. I don't know. I think that's probably what we'll cover next, and I'll have some guests along the way too. But
yeah, that sounds good. You're that one part you're talking about, thought, feelings, and behavior.
Yeah, the second golden rule that everything stems from a thought, feeling, behavior.
Sort of elaborate on that. So.
Well, what you pointed out, that what I didn't mention there is that we can have it as a golden rule, that every feeling stems from a thought, but what deciphers negative thoughts versus positive thoughts?
Right. So I was wondering about that.
Well, I tell people when you're doing the self-analyzing and you're listening to your self-talk, and focusing and journaling about it, you look for what I call determinant words. And these determinant words are kind of giveaways to the rational and irrational thoughts. It helps you decipher between good and bad thought, essentially.
Right.
Rational and irrational thought. Determinant words are words like always, everyone, all the time, should. The word that you always talk about, and must, and all the time. These words that determine the future before anything's happened.
Right. Well, then I appreciate you adopting the one part, the pause, and do what you would advise. Because I figured that, as you were saying, that there's positive and negative thoughts that drive people in different directions.
Yeah.
But so that part of the theory, when you do have that pause, you'll be able to sort those out. Because what you would advise is not to do something negative.
Yeah.
Not to do something damaging, hurtful, whatever. So that's where they sort of get recentered back into that positive thought, which leads to a positive flow and a positive behavior.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, it's passionate of mine, man. As you pointed out, I'm watching it going, wow, breathe, Adam. But I get so caught in it, just being, I live in it like that, and I don't know. To a point, it's kind of, I think, how you gotta live your life sometimes. Is enthusiastically.
Right. Well, that whole thing about enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Remember, people spend a lot of time looking for happiness.
Yeah.
And, happiness is about as nebulous as any concept ever. I mean, when you look it up, where is it? When you drive to it. But if you follow that passion you're talking about, that passion builds that enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And so if you look for enthusiasm, therein lies happiness. So it's a lot easier way to track it down. So you have this, you're saying this issue. You decide how you feel about it.
Yeah.
Okay. And that if you're not sure, then you're doing what you advise to put it in a positive mode.
Mm-hmm.
So you go from how you feel then into because I know that, and I'm going to override whatever negative feeling that is to that.
Yeah.
That makes me feel competent, you know, about, like you're saying, your mind, body, spirit. I'm confident because of the choices I'm making, behaviors that follow those, and how that affects me intrinsically. So follow that pattern, then you have the problem, you have the solution, and that feeling of confidence that comes from that, which if I keep doing that, it grows into confidence. And confidence that leads to enthusiasm. So.
Yeah, I like that. I like that explanation. How's it? I don't know what part of it speaks to you the most. You know, I say that because you being a mentor of mine. You know, what part may speak to you? I'm, you know, just wondering if this connection.
Probably was not provoking thing. You got me in your last, your last session here. What's your philosophy? You asked me that like back in one of my first programs there.
Yeah, one of the first podcasts. Yeah.
Yeah, it got me thinking because I mean that's an evolving answer. By the time I would finish describing it, it may have changed somewhat. You know, so because I think that's the whole point. Part of the human experience is to evolve into your own philosophy. I mean, there's no absolute to it.
I like that, evolving your own philosophy.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's what I kind of did with that, but I like that idea. You know, that's what life is about. That's cool, man. That's brilliant when you really think about it.
Well, I mean, it's, like you're saying, you just keep it real, keep it simple.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, with the uncomfortable comes change, comes growth, comes everything evolves. Because we're evolving out of that structure that contained us, and you're following that sense of freedom and having the growth from the difficulty, the uncomfortable.
And growing.
A lot of times we don't see where that's growing towards, but if you keep making positive choices, you're going to get positive outcomes. So, and those outcomes then create thoughts that you never even wrapped your head around before. So to say what a philosophy is to say that I really know what the next experience is how it's going to impact me. And so, but the philosophy then is maybe just continue to make choices and then evolve into that philosophy that a series of choices sort of funnels you into. But the cool thing, there's no end to the funnel. It's just, as long as you're breathing, you're learning.
Yeah.
So, whether you want to be or not.
And that transcendence, that you're talking about, that kind of spiritual aspect almost, that transcendence. And, I didn't explain in the video exactly what I mean by transrational structural behavioral theory. I just kind of went into the theory. And, with transrational, trans kind of pulling from that transcendence, that spiritual going beyond, and rational obviously being logic and reason. I'm trying to speak to the fact that I think it's rational and logical to include a spiritual aspect into your life. I think that's rational. And that's what I mean by the transrational. And that structural part obviously speaks to how you structure your daily routine, about growth and using mind, body, and spirit, and obviously it modifies your behavior along the way, by structuring it that way. And that's, I said in there backwards so quickly, the essence of it really speaks to that, we don't find purpose, purpose finds us through purposeful structure. That's the kind of essence of the implementation part, of the theory.
Yeah.
That's really what I'm trying to get across, honestly.
So I like that. I mean, the whole point of, the purpose finds us. But yeah, how I look at that is as I'm moving forward, uh, in some ways, maybe intrinsically I know what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I don't know exactly why I'm making the choice I'm making, but it feels right.
Yeah.
And that intuitive part of you, that gut feeling you're talking about, you know, that sort of taps into the spiritual side you're talking about.
Yeah.
So, that spirituality, it seems like it is the essence, I mean, the catalyst that drives the whole engine. Because it's sort of that, sort of flows your passion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
I think you're right.
And when you have that, your oxytocin levels and, all those healthy things that happens to your body, when you're feeling that rush that comes from that intuitive feeling that this feels so right, it allows us the opportunity to know that I've merged that sense of purpose with something actually bigger than myself.
Yeah. And kind of, yeah, I guess in a way, it kind of leaves you relying on a bigger purpose, being the fact that you structure yourself purposefully, with all receptors open to growth. I guess almost in a hope that because you've designed the structure that way, that what's around you, will provide those opportunities of growth. And I say that because, I talk about cleaning your palate, your environment of what you think makes up who you are, and doing that because I stress that so much because things that once we thought annoying or something we didn't like, all of a sudden become something we love. And I speak that specifically like two things. I used to make fun of counselors and philosophers and the concept of it. I'd seen too many, and I thought I could see through them. And here I am, a counselor. So unless and if I would not have escaped everything I thought that made up who I was, my receptors wouldn't have been open to that possible passion. The same with classical music and strings. There's certain things that I just wouldn't listen to. But wiping your slate clean, sitting through even the first uncomfortable few minutes of some music you once believed to be bad opened you to change that belief. And now those soothing strings, the classical, I play that when I'm working, when I'm writing, doing things. And that's what I mean, about that environmental clear part, clearing out that whole environment to allow that growth to approach your life, and opportunities you never even thought possible. In a realistic way, not just saying it in some cheesy self-help motivational speaker way, I mean, there's a realness to it. One more come on.
No, I like it. It's real thought-provoking, and that's cool. So, I'm looking forward to how you break down the different topics, the different units.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to probably take the next couple episodes and put it under a microscope and really break it down, those individual parts like you suggested. I'm definitely going to do that.
I think that's good. And because, how you really do, you talk about how you benefit from negatives too, in that aspect. I'm real familiar with, and I'm on the same track. So, some of the most important things we'll ever experience in life are also the most difficult. And there's different kind of hurts, feeling uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But it's sort of like the discomfort you have when you're leaning against a sharp object or something. It's like, it's very uncomfortable. But there's the discomfort that comes from, like, you've been crouched down your closet cleaning, and now you get to straighten up and stretch.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the sort of two kind of hurts. One I benefit from, and one that sort of depletes me.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be cool to see where you go with that.
Yeah, man. I'm excited about it, but I appreciate you doing the breakout session with me.
Anytime.
Now we took care of your podcast. You're good this week, right? You're going to broadcast next Saturday?
Yeah, I did that's the date.
Or next Sunday?
Yesterday, yeah.
You're going to go next Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay, next Sunday then. Okay. Yeah, so I'll be next Saturday. I'll be at 8. We'll do a little breakout session. For those of you that watch this, contact us. Send us an email if there's somebody in your life, that's a mentor to you, that you think has some unique life philosophies, that we could share. Be interested in having them on the podcast and talking with us. Give us your feedback too. Let us know so we can change or modify or some things you want us to talk about. We'll do that too. So just let us know. It's been a cool breakout session. My breakout sessions are going to be really short because my episodes themselves are so long and broke apart. We keep these pretty short. So appreciate you joining and catching the breakout session, and we'll see you next Saturday at 8 o'clock. Appreciate you, Leo.
No problem.
Thanks, man.
You bet.